today. I am a role model, says Angel Reese. I take that seriously, says Angel Reese. Okay, girl, you're my angel. Okay, fine. Angel Reese is the example we want to set for the people that we are being role models to. Is the example that we want to set. If we don't get our way, we throw a temper tantrum. If we don't get our way, we throw a hissy fit.
Angel Reese receives applause, not for leadership, not for dropping buckets, but for actually leaving mid-aim as if it were a masterclass on how not to motivate children. As a matter of fact, when did leaving become the new highlight reel? It's similar to witnessing a motivating speaker slam the microphone and leave the stage abruptly. Still, the audience cheers. This is not a basketball story, so fasten your seatbelt. It's about smiling while failing uphill.
It is over. That is the last you will see Angel Reese in a Chicago Sky uniform with the antics and the stuff she pulled to end this season. She straight up quit on this team the last 3 games of the season, refused to play. She disrespected her teammates. Her teammates went back and fired back, letting it be known, hold on, shorty, we're not going for that. Now the Angel Reese stands invaded the Chicago game, screaming out, fire Jeff P, who is the GM.
Walking away now receives more applause than shooting a game-winning shot, according to Angel Reese. You would assume that in a single night, she had signed autograph for orphans, broken a record, and dropped 50 points. However, performing the exact reverse resulted in the ovation. She resigned. She went home after practically taking her ball. And for whatever reason, the audience decided to burst out like confetti cannons had just detonated at this point.
Game all excited. Oh, I'm going to watch my favorite player, Angel Reese, only to find out, oh, she's busy sticking it to the man. The Chicago Sky organization. Hey, why isn't Angel Reese playing, Mom, Dad? Well, she threw her teammates under the bus. The organization reprimanded her accordingly, and now she just quit on the team. Oh. Is this somebody I should be looking up to? No. Let's get out of here, son.
Half of the middle school athletes should win MVP awards if giving up mid-aim is the new standard for brilliance. Little Timmy was really making a Hall of Fame move each time. He scampered off because the referee didn't call traveling. Who knew that the key to getting applause was to pout and turn away? We have been doing sports incorrectly the entire time if that is the case.
Fire Jeff. That is Jeff Pagliosa, the GM of the Chicago Sky. Damn, I can spot a nickel in the 3rd row, section C3. Angel Reese, you ain't selling no tickets. You ain't selling no tickets. I can spot a nickel right there. Right there. Listen, the Angel Reese fans letting it be known they want this GM fired, y'all. Not ideal. I pour my heart and soul into this job. I lose sleep over losing. If anyone is going to take the bullets, I'd rather be me over our head coach or our players. Jeff P out there on his own, man.
Forget hours of drills, forget conditioning, and forget practice. Really, all you need is a spectacular exit and a following that is prepared to applaud poor choices. The crazy thing is that Angel Reese was meant to be more. She was meant to represent grit, hustle, and swagger as well as the rise of women's basketball. When children needed evidence that perseverance triumphed over lame excuses, they looked up to this guy.
Angel, are you frustrated with the organization or frustrated in general?
I don't think I'm frustrated. I probably am frustrated myself right now. I think the language is taken out of context, and I really didn't intentionally mean to put down my teammates because they've been through this with me throughout the whole year. They've busted their ass just how I busted my ass. They showed up for me through thick and thin and in the locker room when nobody could see anything. So I would apologize to my teammates, which I already...
But what message are they really sending? That when things get difficult, the answer is to quit. Nobody's tuning in to study her box score anymore. Kids are watching something else entirely. They're picking up on the performance of a mid-game exit. Somewhere out there, a 7-year-old is rehearsing their best storm-off in the mirror because that's the example their idol just set. Think about the progress women's basketball has made. The exposure is growing. Viewership is climbing. People are finally paying attention. And that's why this whole situation feels so upside down. Fans are celebrating like it was an act of bravery. But that's like applauding a firefighter who sets down the hose mid-blaze and says, "It's too hot. I'm calling it a day." Nobody would cheer that. Nobody would call it inspiring. You'd be wondering why we're treating it like heroism. Yet in today's strange landscape of sports fandom, a walkaway earns a standing ovation. And here's the dilemma. Athletes don't get to opt out of being role models. The moment they trend online, the moment sponsors line up, the moment their highlights loop on ESPN, they're shaping how kids see the game and life itself.
Angel Reese, she's shutting herself down for the rest of the season.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what? She's not gonna be missed.
No, that's ridiculous, man.
Here we go. Alabama versus Wisconsin. Alabama's ranked number 19 right now. I will take Alabama.
Like it or not, kids are paying attention. And when they see Angel Reese clap back at critics one day, then storm out a game the next, they're not taking notes on toughness. They're learning that theatrics get rewarded. Sure, every athlete has rough nights. Everyone eventually cracks. But the standing ovations? That's where it all flips upside down. Because when quitting gets cheered, the lesson drowns out every pep talk poster on a gym wall. The message becomes clear. It's not about grinding to the struggle. It's about knowing when to turn your exit into a show. This isn't about teamwork anymore. It's about being the star of the drama. And that's where sports culture feels off the rails. Forget the scoreboard. Forget fundamentals. Forget the long hours of practice. Just manufacture headlines and watch the applause roll and like you've just solved global poverty. The real damage isn't just Angel Reese's reputation. It's to the game itself. Women's basketball is finally gaining real traction, finally pulling in viewers. And instead of celebrating perseverance, the big headline is about someone walking off mid-game and getting glorified for it. That's not progress. It's sabotage dressed up as empowerment. You can't build a league on viral walk-offs. You build on athletes who dig in when the pressure hits, not ones who vanish the moment the game stops catering to them. But let's take a moment to look at the fans. Why are they encouraging this? Why are they cheering on something so clearly destructive? A big part of it is the social media machine. People can't resist a redemption arc where the villain becomes a hero. They crave the chaos, the drama, the personality who shrugs off criticism and plays by their own rules. But here's the problem. Kids do care what their heroes think. And when those heroes signal that storming off is applause-worthy, it's the kids who absorb the cost. Walking away when your team still needs you isn't empowerment. It's abandonment. Calling it strength is just spin. Modeling bad habits in front of impressionable fans isn't growth. It's ego masquerading as courage. And the loudest cheers? They're just people pretending they're not complicit in the wrong message. Picture this. A Little League game. A kid strikes out, tosses his bat, rips off his helmet, and stomps the dugout. Now imagine parents leaping to their feet, applauding and shouting, "Way to show that bat who's boss. Way to walk away." People would think they'd lost it. That's the parallel here. This isn't about inspiring kids. It's about controlling the trending page. But social media clout doesn't raise athletes. Coaches do. Parents do. Real role models do. And if those role models are teaching kids that quitting equals courage, the sport pays the price long before the highlight reel ends.
Credit. That was some good bullshit. This dude is a master polisher. Tyler Marsh went above and beyond. He didn't just use the regular polish. This dude grabbed the chrome polish and put a double coat on this turd. For the most part, I noticed that Tyler Marsh was talking about Angel Reese on the court. He was talking about her preparation. He was talking about her work ethic. He was talking about her commitment to pretend basketball, her competitive.
Role models are supposed to teach kids that no matter how tough things get, you keep pushing. You don't have to win every game, but you show up, you grind, and you finish what you start. That's the essence of sports. The life lessons that stick long after the final whistle. But the takeaway kids are getting now is different. Walk away loudly and the crowd will cheer. And let's be real, that applause wasn't about courage. It was about fans want to feel like they were part of a moment. People love the idea of being tied to history. Even if that history is cringeworthy, they'll cheer for anything that makes them feel included in the drama. Angel Reese gave them exactly that. A headline to defend, a scene to debate, a memory to post about. The scoreboard? Irrelevant. The fundamentals? Forgotten. What matters now is the spectacle. But here's the catch. The spectacle comes with consequences. When one star player is celebrated for quitting, the ripple spreads. It echoes through gyms, practices, and youth leagues everywhere. Suddenly, walking out isn't labeled as giving up. It's rebranded as a statement. Not weakness, but empowerment. And kids notice. They always do.
Ahead, and when one of the biggest sports media entities in the country, The Athletic, which is now owned by the New York Times, comes out and makes this statement, well, maybe this is exactly what we all thought. Angel Reese may have thrown her teammates under the bus, ran the bus over them, and then proceeded to just quit and protest on the team.
Next time a 10-year-old feels like they're not getting enough touches, they won't pull their coach aside. They won't stay late to sharpen their game. No, they'll summon their inner Angel Reese, stomp off the court with theatrics, and then pause, expecting cheers like they just dropped the hottest album of the year. And the parents in the stands? Half of them will clap, not because they agree, but because they don't want to look unsupportive. The spin is even worse. Suddenly, think pieces pop up saying Angel Reese was setting boundaries or protecting her peace. Sure, that sounds nice. But sports aren't a wellness retreat. Protecting your peace works fine in a meditation app, not in crunch time when your teammates are counting on you to push through. That's not boundary setting. That's flat out bailing. And the fact that people are framing it differently is mind-blowing. Because here's what everyone seems to forget. Role models don't just carry their own name, they carry the sport. Angel Reese isn't just Angel Reese anymore. She's the image young athletes look up to. She's the one signing sponsorships, fronting campaigns, and representing women's basketball on the big stage. And when you're the face of the league, how you handle those moments isn't just personal. It defines a standard for everyone watching.
Marsh has the toughest job because he's got to deal with the constant drama of Angel Reese and Angel Reese. Well, Casey, what do you mean? There's only one Angel Reese. There are two. There is Angel Reese Jr., the pretend basketball player, and there is Angel Reese Sr., better known as Mama Reese, the professional clapping back at the hater.
And yet here we are, treating a meltdown like it belongs on a highlight reel. Think about the legends who set the standard. Michael Jordan dragging himself to the flu game. Kobe Bryant gutting it out with a busted finger. Serena Williams grinding through injuries and still winning. Even Caitlin Clark has taken wave after wave of pressure and criticism without bailing mid-game. Those athletes built legacies on grit. Angel Reese? She's writing hers with reality TV theatrics. If walking off mid-game gets a standing ovation, what's next? A trophy for leaving your jersey at home? Confetti showers for skipping practice? This isn't sports. It's a Netflix drama disguised as competition, and fans can't look away. But how do you build team chemistry when no one knows if a teammate will even stick it out until the final buzzer? That kind of stunt cracks locker rooms, fuels resentment, and replaces unity with chaos. Fans might roar in a moment, but the long-term cost is trust, the very foundation of championship teams. Dynasties aren't built on exits. They're built on loyalty, consistency, and grind. Right now, Angel Reese is pushing the opposite message. Here's the truth. Toughness isn't about sound bites, Instagram posts, or clapbacks. It's about refusing to quit when frustration eats at you. It's about putting the group ahead of your pride. That's what was missing in her walk-off, and the applause made it worse. Because now it's not just one player making a bad call, it's an entire fan culture rewarding it. Fans have turned into enablers, handing out approval like Halloween candy. Except this doesn't create sugar highs, it creates ego highs. And once someone gets hooked on being celebrated for quitting, why would they ever stop?
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury.
Additionally, don't misunderstand. This is also not a feminist triumph. This isn't about female athletes taking responsibility for their decisions at last. This aims to reduce the bar to the point where giving up is now portrayed as innovative. There is no reason to lower the bar for women's sports. And simply take a look at how this moment went viral on the internet. If you think that's over the top, the score was not being discussed. The walk-off was on their minds. The sport was already overshadowed by the drama. The fact that Angel Reese is gifted is the greater sorrow. These games are not necessary for her to play. She possesses the abilities, the platform, and the attention. She might have been referred to as the star who propelled women's basketball into the next phase, the grinder, or the fighter.
Angel Reese, this is enough. She said, I can't wait for this season to end. Hawaii calling my name. I need a little break from America for real. Girl, do you know that Hawaii is in America? You must be the dumbest thing to ever walk this earth. You talking about you make $1,400 in 7 days, while we make it in a week. Same thing. I'm starting to think you're dumb, Angel Reese, or you're clip farming. You're trying to be like Flight, but you're...
But instead of building her name on grit and consistency, she's carving out a reputation as a headline chaser, the drama magnet of the hardwood. And no matter how many buckets she puts up down the road, that mid-game exit is going to cling to her legacy like a permanent stain. And legacy matters. What does this tell the sponsors investing their money, the TV networks giving women's basketball prime airtime, the people finally betting on its growth? Do you tie your brand to athletes who showcase resilience and inspire audiences to stay locked in? Or do you hitch your wagon to players who turn the game into a stage for theatrics? This isn't just a bad moment for Reese. It's a bad optic for the entire league. At the end of the day, fans have a choice to make. Do they want women's basketball to stand tall as a respected, professional, inspiring sport? Or do they want it to spiral into a reality show where clapping for chaos becomes the main event? Because right now, the cheers make it crystal clear. Drama is what sells.